Good evening, grave robbers. We're not doing a Stay Doomed this week.
And welcome to the car.
Welcome to the car. Welcome to Pennsylvania. Welcome to On the Road with +2 Comedy. We are on our way back from Zenkaikon.
Yes, whenever we have one of these conventions, it usually takes up all of our time, and we don't have time to do a normal Stay Doomed. So, we take you along the ride here as we head home after a successful convention day.
Yeah.
Weekend, even.
Yeah, we came up Friday. It is currently Sunday, roughly midday, and I think it's beginning to snow.
Yes. I know you guys can, hear the car and hear this is a terrible road we're on.
Yeah.
But to attempt to make the sound quality somewhat feasible, no heat. So it is a nice 39 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's very cold in the car.
Yeah.
So
if you're upset you're not getting a normal episode, know that we're upset recording.
So, yeah, Zenkaikon's a really fun one for us. We like Lancaster a lot.
Yes.
We stayed in Lancaster, but I threatened to, if we did our hotel reservation a bit late, and I had openly threatened to have us stay in the Cartoon Network Hotel.
Yes.
Which means you probably would have gotten a very special Stay Doomed vlog of the Cartoon Network Hotel, which I'm sure is not going to last forever.
Yeah. You're making it sound like I was like, no, we can't do the Cartoon Network Hotel.
No, but we would have preferred to stay in town, which we did.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like, well, if we don't get to stay in town, and we have to stay like a 15-minute drive away or whatever, we're going to stay in the Cartoon Network Hotel.
Yeah. So we did 3 panels, sort of.
Yeah, we did 2, and then Noah jumped onto a 3rd.
Yes. So we got there just in time.
Literally just in time.
To do ARGs, Puzzle Trails, and what's the last one?
Unfiction.
And we don't record these very often. So you might not know about this, because the last time we did one of these for coming back from what? Too many games?
The last time we did an On the Road with +2 Comedy, we were on our way back from a Halloween booking.
Oh, yes.
In the Berkshire Mountains.
Yes. So, yeah, this is probably the first that you'll hear us coming back from a con, unless you're a diehard +2 Comedy fan and have been listening for years. This is where you find out that I never like my own performance.
Yeah.
Because I was really disappointed with how ARG's Puzzle Trails and Unfiction went, despite the fact that everyone told me they greatly enjoyed it, and I got a present.
Yeah. A nice young lady in the audience gave you a bracelet based on an ARG.
Yeah, based on Everyman Hybrid. So I wore that the entire convention because I loved it. And it was very nice.
And anyone who did not know that ARG probably thought you were just really into Mardi Gras because it was the same color scheme.
Yes, it was very purple and green. But I loved it. I thought it was very nice of her to give that to me. She had made it herself, and she just wanted me to have it.
And since ARGs freaked me out because they tend to be horror-based, I went into the dealer's room and bought a stuffed raccoon, a stuffed possum, and a stuffed axolotl.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Which is funny because, the axolotl is what kind of got everything started in terms of me live streaming ARGs.
That's why I got it for you.
So, unfortunately, I did not bring up Axiom Axolotl in the panel.
It would have been really unprofessional because I would have then pelted you with the axolotl.
Yes. But overall, I thought it went really well. Or went okay. There was a couple moments that I really liked.
The Phobos reveal
was
fantastic.
We did a reveal of a Phobos 2 trailer that Justin was nice enough to make just for Zenkaikon. So, in the middle of the trailer...
Your computer blue screens of death.
Yeah, it blue screens of death, and people bought it, which I didn't think they were going to. the then frowny face turned into a happy face. A weird code appeared on screen, and the main character of Phobos, Jonathan Eldridge, addressed Zenkaikon directly.
I'm watching you, Zenkaikon.
Yes.
And the air went out of the room for a second. It was really funny.
I did get like an audible like, ooh. As for the rest of the panel, like the stuff on ARGs, I feel like I didn't tread any new ground. Because I did a lot of like older stuff, which I don't know how appreciated that was, to talk about like I Love Bees and
Lonely Girl 15 is
Lonely Girl
unfiction
15 and stuff like that. Because I didn't know if I wanted it to be like an origins of these formats, like a review of today's best creators, or a like how-to. So I tried to do all of those things, and I did none of them like to my standards. And
it's tough. You only have an hour.
I only had an hour, and Kermit made a joke where he was like, oh, maybe this panel's an ARG. That was the original plan, is I was actually going to hide like a message in the slides, and it just like, I did not have time.
Well, this one, we had applied with it in December. It had been waitlisted. And then...
I didn't know it was even waitlisted.
I assumed it was waitlisted because they contacted us again.
Yeah, they just kind of told us no.
And then asked us to do it with about 10 days notice.
Yeah.
So we couldn't...
Yeah, it was a brand new panel, so it's not like it was sitting, like, waiting to be used. It was like, when I was told I wasn't doing it, I didn't work on it.
Yeah, like, you had your initial sketch ideas, but you hadn't, like, shined it up and made it pretty. Stay Doomed Live, we also had an original, we'd also had the thing set up for it already.
Yes.
We had the infrastructure for that one set up.
Yeah, we did Stay Doomed Live Saturday night, which I was really happy with how that one went. It was a smaller room, but it was filled, and, like, it bred conversation with the crowd, which I'm always a big fan of.
It was nice to tell someone who had suggested a show that it was already in the upcoming queue.
Yes.
With Moonbeam City.
Well, my favorite is when someone suggests a show and we can tell them we've done it.
Yes. With
so, like, have you done Clerks? It's like, yes, we certainly did do Clerks.
Yeah, and when I asked everyone, like, oh, what's your favorite one, season one, or everyone yells Firefly.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we've done Firefly for you.
Because the last time we did Stay Doomed Live, the show was not even a full year old. We were not even at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
Because it was in the spring 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So we had not even ended the first season of Stay Doomed.
Right.
So there's actually... I was a little bummed out when I realized it later, but there are a few episodes that I would have liked to have talked about more that I don't cover.
Yeah.
Because when I was updating the panel, because I used some of the bones. When I say I used some of the bones, I really overhauled the entire panel.
Yeah.
But,
it definitely looked a lot better.
Yeah, it looks... Well, last time we used Google Slides, and this time we had...
last time we did it was really orange, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
We decided to go with orange, which is like not one of our colors, not a +2 comedy color.
And I used the desaturated color bars logo that we haven't really been actively using yet.
Yeah.
But the new website that I'm still working on, I promise. The fun thing with On the Road with +2 Comedy is occasionally you'll have moments where we have to focus on the driving because somebody has their blinker on and oughtn't.
Yeah.
But we use the desaturated color bars and the VCR font that has become the new logo we're kind of inching toward.
Yeah. I really liked the zombies, but I did an experiment back when I was like more actively a mod of our podcasts, where I had everyone post the like image of their podcast with no context, and then people had to guess what the podcast was about.
Take the US 202 north exit toward King of Prussia.
And nobody really got it based off, because like Stay Tuned rhymed with Stay Tuned, and that was kind of the whole thing.
It was never the logo I wanted. The zombie logo was always intended to be a stopgap. I was trying to commission artists to do the logo I wanted, but I had no idea how much it was supposed to cost.
Right.
And so every artist, we'd go into this circular, well, how much do you want? Well, how much do you have?
Yeah.
And I was like, please, I do not want to offend and lowball you. Tell me what it costs.
Yeah, for the love of God.
Like, tell me the expected amount of money, and I will tell you if I can or cannot do that. Like, so that's why we kind of have the original logo is also heavily borrowed / stolen from the save the dates from our wedding.
Yes. It's the same font and same, background. There were no zombies on our wedding photo.
No, but there was the shadow of Joel and the MST3K robots.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Stay Tuned Live was really successful. We added some new clips.
Yeah.
But I realized, we don't talk about Opposite Worlds.
Yeah, Opposite Worlds is probably the biggest one we're missing.
And it's such an interesting show, and that's that key component doesn't work category.
Continue on US 202 North for 11 miles.
You done? You done. So that was fun. And we love Lancaster.
Yes.
So the 2 panels did go really well. But we got to spend a lot of time in Lancaster with friends. And
yeah, we got to hang out with patrons.
Yeah, we got to hang out with Kermit and Matt.
Yeah, and Patrick. We were all just hanging out together.
We went to a really delightful restaurant.
Oh my God, this place was great.
It was a Chipotle type, bowl or burrito. But the burrito was made in a scallion pancake. And I'm upset that that's never been a thing in my life before.
Yeah.
Oh, it was delicious.
Such an easy idea. It's right there.
Oh, you know what? You did a third panel that I totally forgot about because I wasn't on it, and therefore
Kermit did a panel called Genesis Does What Nintendo Don't, which was a look at various video game commercials and how terrible they used to be. The moment that sticks out to me is Kermit showed half of a commercial, which was a nerdy guy and a goth girl about to make out, and asked, what do you think this was a commercial for? And I guessed Luigi's Mansion and was correct. And I jumped up to celebrate it and did a lap, and nobody applauded. So I did a silent lap around and sat down. I was like, I was really expecting applause. They clapped later.
Yeah.
But it was too late.
After you announced that you expected it.
That I demanded it.
Yeah, I think, we tend to run a slightly rowdier panel.
Yeah.
And sometimes we take that energy into other people's panels, and it's a little less successful because most people run a civilized panel.
Yeah. But it was nice to get a little bit of extra time to be silly.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately we didn't do much at the con. We're still living in COVID times. Everyone was masked and vaccinated and stuff like that.
I will say the con was on it with COVID protocols.
Yeah. But it's still one of those things where it's still a convention. It's still lots of crowded spaces that there wasn't anything that was so big that I wanted to endure that.
Yeah, we've still been very risk averse.
Yeah. But it looks like most people felt comfortable with it and were having a good time. I know the rave was a big success. I didn't make my way into that, but
part of me wants to say I was too old to go to the rave, but I have not gone to a rave since I've been going to cons.
Well, the last rave we went to was New Jersey GamerCon.
Oh, that's right. That was different.
Yeah.
That was everyone, because
we knew everyone there.
Yeah, the rave consisted of people our age that we knew.
Yes, and celebrities, because That's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, I army crawled in because MC Lars was playing.
Yeah.
So I just kind of snuck in.
Because that was the insane weekend where we did both New Jersey GamerCon and Otakon.
Yeah, we did the midnight run.
Yeah, we did a show at Otakon in Washington, D.C. at midnight on Friday. And then
Drove
home, went to New Jersey GamerCon in Cherry Hill, which is now known as the East Coast Gaming Convention. Or Gaming Expo.
I will say, we did not roll up to East Coast Gaming Expo until like 3 o'clock.
Yeah. And...
Because we were tired, guys.
And then stayed at a rave until 2 a.m. And it was like us, Square Painter,
Tiny Ninja,
MC Lars,
Chris from AVGC.
Yes. DJ Cutman, and Big Bad Bosses, which is the completionist, Gerard Khalil, Alex Fasciani. So I know we all got a picture together, and that exists somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it on Facebook.
Yeah.
It was a wild night. It was fun.
It was a really good time.
It had very big MagFest energy.
Yeah.
And I was really bummed that we were not able to do MagFest in 2022. But
Yeah.
with Omicron, it really didn't feel like a good decision for us.
It was definitely the feeling of like cons are coming back. They're not back full swing, but like they're coming back and like they'll be there soon. Hopefully by Too Many Games.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go back to Too Many Games. It's one of my favorite cons that we do. But yeah, Zenkaikon, like, everything felt really well run. I had no issues. We didn't have any tech issues. Everything felt really smooth this year.
Yeah, staff was like super on it. No problems like at Reg.
No.
Because I feel like Zen is a common one that we have issues at Reg. The one we always have issues at Reg is Otakon.
Yes.
And like, it's the same guy that runs it every year. And it's like, hey, it's us again.
Interestingly, I think the only times we haven't had major Reg problems are the times we've done the midnight run and shown up at 11 p.m.
Not true.
Oh, no.
Because I remember there was a purple-haired girl that I've seen many times that I became friendly with because of, like, she was the only one working. Because that was the other problem, like, we did a midnight run, so, like, Reg was down to, like, 3 people. They're like, wait a minute, you're just getting your badge now? It's like, yeah, this is how we do it. We're really dumb.
This is how we do it. Well, we're also, like, people with, I was going to say shoot jobs because wrestling, but we have, like, jobby jobs, and we can't necessarily take off the Friday of every convention weekend.
Yeah.
We will sometimes, but if we can get away with it, we often do not take that day off because, you know, a limited vacation time, you don't want to throw all of it into the Friday of a con.
We're at the point with Plus 2 Comedy where, like, we're a business first, and, like, as fun as it is to go to conventions, like, we have to do what's best for the business. So the situations where like we could just do this and not have to get a hotel room are like things that we have to consider, like, versus, like, granted we have badges for all 3 days, but we're only working 1 day, and, like, only being there 1 day gives us 2 other free days to, like, edit
and record this podcast.
Record.
Yeah, we have to do what we can do as well as like what we need to do for our own lives. You know, we both work full time on top of doing Plus 2 Comedy. And we both work reasonably demanding jobs. So there's a lot of, like, wanting to get out of my lane. But there's a lot of, like, what you gotta do to, you know, make it. That being said, certain conventions, we do also Cherish is kind of being vacations for us. This is
Yeah.
going to be a crap merge. Certain conventions, we do kind of treat like trips as well because we enjoy the destination.
Yeah, Lancaster's a great town.
Yeah.
Lots of great places to hang out. We scoped out a lot of places we didn't end up staying. We went to the Beer Wall. We went to Decades.
Yeah, Decades, we decided to roll up at 7:30 on a Saturday night, and then we were confused as to why it was busy.
I was like, yeah, this place is packed. Let's...
But it's something I would definitely want to do, like, maybe midday Friday.
Yeah, it was like a
next year.
barcade that also had, like, bowling alley lanes.
Yeah. It looked really cool,
Yeah.
and we'd like to spend more time there. It also looked like a classy bar.
Yeah?
Like, it looked like a nice bar with, like, usually barcades kind of have that, like, charmingly run down feel.
I mean, like, the venue itself was, like, nice, like, and clean and all that good stuff. But the drinks were, like, in plastic bags.
Some of them were.
Like...
There were also people drinking out of, like, lovely, like, cocktail glasses. I
Yeah.
saw both.
It was quirky.
Yeah, we definitely want to go there again. Beer Wall, we left because I didn't like any of the beer.
Yeah, it was a wall of sours.
Yeah, sours and IPAs, which are not my jam. Where else? We went to the Queen Street Bistro, which might be one of my favorite parts of the trip.
Last there.
We went after... we went pretty late in the evening as, like, a late dinner because we had been in town. We had been going since 8 a.m. with finishing getting the panels ready, packing up the car, driving here, doing the panel, and then, you know, talking to people after the panel. Then you had Kermit's panel right after. So we had been going for 14 hours straight, and then we were like, let's sit down and have a dinner. And the music playlist was the most delightful early 2000s pop punk playlist.
Oh, yeah.
It was majestic.
Yeah, a lot of Blink-182, a lot of Sum 41, a little SR-71. There's a lot of numbers to remember.
Sugar Cult,
Sugar Cult.
but not bouncing off the walls.
Yeah. Memory for some reason. Jimmy World.
And we had a lot of fun trying to guess what the next song... A Simple Plan.
Simple Plan showed up, yeah.
We had a lot of fun trying to guess what the next songs were going to be. And we ended up staying for another round, purely on the grounds of that playlist.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun. Then we met up the next day with Uncle Yo.
Yeah, it was good
And
to talk
his
to
partner.
Uncle Yo.
And we hung out with them at the Spring House Tap House.
Yes. Which is another one of our favorite haunts.
Yeah, Spring House Brewery, their beer is just incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I had their pumpkin beer, which they still had.
I had the Daily Planet.
Yeah, you had IPA. And then Uncle Yo was telling us that they had discounted their pumpkin beer, and I had to break it to him that we had some of their pumpkin beer
had so much
still
of it.
in my fridge. Because it's very strong, and I can't really drink more than one in like a week.
Well, yeah, it was good to talk to him, and he was doing like the Masquerade, and he was part of like Hollywood Squares and stuff like that. But I asked him like, hey, you know, when's your stand-up? He's like, oh, I'm not doing stand-up. I had nothing new, so I didn't want to do a showcase because I'm not coming back to stand-up. I was like, oh, okay. But I had kind of convinced myself, because he's listed on the website as Uncle Yo Comedian, that's why we didn't get booked to do comedy. It's because they already had Uncle Yo.
Yeah.
But no, apparently there was just no stand-up comedy. And I'm curious if we just kind of are at a point where people view stand-up comedy as problematic.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, writing jokes is very, very hard. Sometimes I'm still concerned that some of the things I'm like, is this... I'm going to rewrite this punchline because I don't want to, like, you don't want to do any harm.
Like, I'm not one of those dudes that's like, oh, everyone's so PC that we can't do comedy anymore. Bleh. Like, I have always believed that your job as a comedian is to provide laughs to the audience. And if the audience doesn't want, like, politically incorrect humor, it's on you as the provider to then provide them with the product that they do want. But I think there's a chance that there's been too many whiny comedians complaining about wanting to be politically incorrect, that stand-up comedy as a medium is just considered that politically incorrect thing that causes problems.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't surprise me if it's kind of just been flagged.
Yeah.
Of like, is it worth booking? I miss doing improv, like I genuinely do.
Yeah.
Because did Mag Laughs happen? I know we didn't do Mag, but...
Mag Laughs did not happen. They took a break on it, is what they told me.
That makes sense, because that was... Mag Fest happened in, like, peak Omicron, and a thing where you're sharing a mic might not be, you know, the safest thing to do. And I feel like the bands probably bring their own microphones.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it, yeah. Like, they probably would have had to sanitize it between every comedian. And that would have been, like, it's a lot of work. I couldn't remember if they were doing it or not. I know we ended up having to pull out because of Omicron concerns. And we were really, it was heartbreaking to do it.
Yeah.
We didn't want to. We really, like, waffled on it because we really wanted to go, and then the cases kept going up. And we just, we knew it was not the right choice for us, and it sucks that it was not the right choice for us. That being said, stuff long after Mag was getting still delayed, and... Because this is when Broadway, like, every show was closing for, like, a week at a time.
Yeah.
Because the leads were getting COVID, or there weren't enough understudies. They were bringing people in from the tours to be leads on Broadway, to be like, oh, are you the understudy on the tour? Well, good news, we don't have anybody playing Elphaba this weekend. So you're gonna come be Elphaba on Broadway. There was a Glinda from, like, a 2010s tour. She was like, I hadn't performed the role in 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And they brought in a bunch of these people to essentially be understudies so that if too many people got COVID, they could still run a show. Yeah, Omicron, like, blasted through the Broadway community. And a lot of them were asymptomatic, like, or very, very mild. Like, Hugh Jackman was just like, I have a cold, but I can't do the Music Man. So they closed the Music Man for, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm hoping we don't get any more variants. I'm hoping we're, like, finally getting out of the woods here on COVID.
Yeah. I don't need to learn any more Greek letters.
Yeah. I was so afraid a new variant was going to pop up right around now. That was going to be the Pi variant right around Pi Day. I was like, I do not need I don't need this to be cute.
Yeah.
I do not need a cute pandemic, thank you.
I would like to think that we would skip Pi.
I know we skipped to new because the media was like, this will be confusing.
Yeah, we don't want to have a whole who's on first bit when we talk about the new variant. What's it called? New. Yeah, but
Yeah.
what is it? New.
That was legitimately why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other, like, we did a lot of walking. We walked around Lancaster a lot. It's a beautiful little town.
Oh, you know what we should talk about?
General Nerdery.
General Nerdery.
Oh,
what
my
a
gosh.
fantastic little store we found.
An adorable little game store. And they also had a lot of cute Pokemon memorabilia and a little Kirby hack and sack that I bought. The shop owner was really nice.
Yeah, very cool little space. They had a Nintendo 64 set up for playing Smash.
I bought you a Japanese Surf-etched figurine.
Yeah, I got a Surf-etched. It was very exciting. They had a great board game selection.
So they had a lot of Warhammer.
Yeah. Overall, it was a great trip. I'm glad that we were able to spend some time in Lancaster, and that Zenkaikon, after being canceled for 2 years, is back.
And it looked like it was really back. Like, it did not look sparsely attended. We saw some really, truly great cosplayers. We saw an adorable pair that were Gurr and Boo from Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, we saw them the whole con.
And they came to the Stay Doomed panel.
They,
And we were
they
like...
came to Stay Doomed, yeah.
Because we saw them in the hotel,
And a Miss
too.
Frizzle.
Yeah, they were adorable. I missed seeing cosplay. We saw a Maribel and a Dolores from Encanto, which I was surprised that we only saw a few Encanto characters.
Really? I saw Bruno constantly.
Was it the same Bruno?
No.
Oh, I did not see a lot of Brunos.
I saw tons of Brunos.
I just want one Bruno to wear a bucket on his head for at least part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Nick Wilds from Zootopia.
I never saw the Nick Wilde.
But it was, like, it's a lot of fun to see the cosplay come back. There were a few people who were really, like, clever, because there was a mask requirement. A few people had special masks made.
Yeah.
I saw an Undyne the Undying from Undertale, and she had clearly had a mask made to make herself look more like Undyne.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really clever, especially when you're doing a character who is not quite human, of being able to actually use the mask to your advantage.
Yeah.
It was great. It's a really fun con. It was really nice to see conventions back. We had a few truly funny moments of something I didn't realize I missed from conventions. The mix of civilians to convention people.
Yeah.
Because we were walking down the street and there was a cosplayer, and a woman just stopped cold and, like, full on turned around and stared down the street after. I can't remember what the cosplayer was dressed as.
I feel like, because I also feel like this was the most common costume at Zen. She was dressed as person going to a rave.
Yeah. The other one we saw a lot
of ravers at this one.
A lot of Spider-Man.
There was a lot of Spider-Man.
Tons of Spider-Man. And we actually caught people in the Queen Street Bistro filming a Spider-Man.
Yeah, who was on the run.
And it's like one of those just charming things that, like, I forgot I missed.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite con memories is from Wizard World Philadelphia in the Wawa by the Convention Center. Somebody was a Na'vi from Avatar.
On stilts, right?
Yeah, and they couldn't order from the touchscreen because they were on stilts. So just, like, one of the Wawa employees having to come out and help this Na'vi order a sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, just that, I missed that a lot. The city just welcoming back the convention and it just being part of the fauna. Just a nice thing.
Yeah.
I know we have some conventions in the queue in the summer. We were planning to return to Too Many Games. We were hoping to return to Anime Next.
Yeah.
We were hoping to return to both with Cosplay Pro Wrestling.
Fingers crossed.
So, yeah, it's, you know, we're excited. We're things are coming back.
Yeah.
We're excited to see you all again.
And speaking of coming back, we're almost home. So I think this would be a good time to call this podcast here.
All right.
So
Next week we'll be watching Dear Evan Hansen and covering that for Stay Doomed.
Yes. Yeah. We will return to your normal scheduling day next week. But thanks for hanging out in the car with us.
Congratulations to Diana for winning Worst Picture.
Yes.
We'll talk about the Razzies a little bit more in the Dear Evan Hansen episode.
Yeah.
Until next time, stay doomed.